got that little stutter, so give it a second. And greetings, readers, travelers, and listeners alike. My name is Richey Stevens, and I am the host of Richey's Players Guild. And joining me today, it's not the first time he's been on the channel, but it's also not ever going to be the last, because joining the channel officially, please welcome Dennis as a new co-host for the channel. Dennis, how are we doing tonight?
Doing fantastic. How are we doing, Richie?
Doing absolutely wonderful. This is going to be a fun episode tonight because we're celebrating the launch of a really damn good lit RPG. Real quick before I introduce our other two guests, the other announcement that I had for tonight was not only Dennis is joining the channel, but you may have seen her on TikTok. Matt Denneman has referred to her as the TikTok chick, but Sam Boyd is also going to be joining the Players Guild as well as another host as we kind of open her horizon to the lit RPG genre and all of the fun things about it. But we'll do an episode about that where we get to meet the two different new hosts for the channel, so that way if one of us ever has to sub out, we have the coverage. It's always that fun thing to do. But tonight we are doing the Stumbling Up launch party because tomorrow is the official release of Stumbling Up, a loser's guide to progression, the book that is about a banana slug. Richard, he is the main character, and don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. And the author behind that majestic book is Rec. Well, Rec, how are we doing tonight?
Hey folks, doing pretty good. Finally here. This week is just drug.
It is finally here, and I'm very excited that the book is officially coming out. As a lot of you know, it was one of my favorite reads of last year. I know that book forward and backward. So, I mean, it's a damn good book. And joining us is the main voice behind the audiobook for Stumbling Up. He's not doing the female voices. We got Jessica Threet for that. She was sadly not able to make it. But joining us is the one and only Jeremy Fraser. Jeremy, how are we doing today, sir?
I'm doing great. I'm excited about this book. You're right. It's a fantastic book. Just reading through it the first time, I was kind of blown away by all of it. And so it's exciting to finally get it out. And working with Jessica was amazing. She's wonderful.
She's an absolute gem and a sweetheart and a real life Disney princess. And no one will ever convince me otherwise.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, she kind of lives at Disney almost.
She does do her annual trips to Disney, and I think those are like every other month at this point, and that's okay because she has her annual passes. I know that.
Might as well live there.
She's got one of the wings in the Princess Castle, right?
I think so.
Yeah. Wow.
I think the princess changes each time though, because she is an actual, like I said, real life Disney princess. But how's everyone doing? You know, we are finally here for the launch of Stumbling Up. It comes out tomorrow on ebook and physical. Audiobook is
fingers crossed on the audiobook. It's in the holding tank where ACX is doing the final like review check, and at some point they'll be like, "Yep," and it'll go live. It's past a few of the gates, so we're just waiting for that last thumbs up. So yeah.
Well, hopefully that thumbs up comes really quickly, because obviously we want to have that book here. I got that credit ready to spend, and I'm really excited to see.
Where did he go?
Well,
I saw him messing with his desk.
Yeah.
Here, I'm here. Sorry.
Hey, welcome back.
I accidentally hit the button on my mouse that I absolutely fucking hate. I hate this mouse, but it's the only one I have right now. I have that credit. I'm ready to spend it. I'm ready to see what Jeremy and Jessica do with this story. I want to hear those voices. I'm really damn excited about it.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I'm excited for everybody to just to be able to have it, hear it, all of the good things. It's a little surreal because I'm working on the edits for book 2 right now. So like in my head, I'm on book 2. I'm like giggling about book 2 stuff, and I forget that people haven't read book 1 yet. So it's like let's
That's still super exciting for sure.
I'm excited for book 2. I really am. I'm like, you know what? I've already read book 1. Go ahead and give me book 2. I need that damn book. Yeah. So, Dennis, I'll let you go ahead and ask, the first question, since you're the newbie here. You've not read this book.
I am the newbie. I have not read this book, so which is why I am kind of segueing into the characters of this story. We have Your Mom's Party, which is a fantastic name, by the way.
Yeah.
With that, there is quite a lot of characters in it, right? There's Richard, there's Meredith, Cole, Leo, Tandy. I was curious to see what was the inspiration for kind of this group, and if there's any sort of real life inspiration for these characters.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely had this friend group when I was in high school. These guys, we were just like super nerdy, painfully nerdy, but we had a lot of fun. And you get all those like inside jokes. I might have been the queen of your mom jokes in high school. And it was just, I wanted to capture that feeling when you've got a bunch of people that you feel comfortable with and you're just like razzing on each other and not doing anything important, but just like being there, and hanging out. It's such a moment that I think that when we have it in our lives, we don't appreciate having it. And then it like later your life moves on, you have kids, family, you move, whatever, friend groups break up, and then you're like, oh man, the good old times, right? Yeah.
That's fair. No, I definitely agree with that. It kind of reminds me of like movies like Grown Ups, right? Where they all get together and just want to relive their classic high school lives.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. High school, college. I purposely made this about the characters like quarter life crisis because I wanted to get out of teenager saves the world. I wanted us to have a little bit more mature audience. I wanted to have a little bit more mature jokes and just situations that they find themselves in. And so I purposely made the folks a little bit older, but they're also they're kind of the misfits of their village, and their lives have been really small. So they're still kind of experiencing, the big city for the first time, or Cole gets drug into like a underground goth club at one point, and he's just like, what is going on? So it's got this mix of maturity, but also people just really discovering the world for the first time and like living their own life. Yeah.
And with that, in addition, you have kind of this comedy aspect of it, right? The comedy relief with Richard and the shenanigans that imposes from that. I'm assuming that is also kind of just inspiration, just having this fun little group of friends, I guess.
Yeah, so my favorite trope in lit RPG is absolutely like the animal companion. I wanted to have an animal companion that was fun, and Richard is just, I don't know. He's like, is he immortal? Is he all knowing? He's pretty useless. But yeah, I don't know what the question was. It was about the comedy. So the world's a pretty dark place. I think no matter who you are right now, it's pretty easy to say that. And folks are going through it. And I wanted to write a comedy because I wanted to get people laughing. And there's a lot of darkness in the world. And I'm not saying that my books don't have darker elements to them. But I wanted to make sure at the end of the day, like, we're all got gallows humor at this point, right? there's wars going on, right? And we just got to find a way to find joy in our lives and our existences and stuff. And I wanted to put some of that into, my next book. I was in a really dark place when I started Stumbling Up, and it's helped move me through some of that. So yeah, I wanted to put that, I wanted to put that joy in the world too. Yeah. So Jeremy, you tell me, comedy wise, what was a more comedic moment that you leaned into as the narrator for it?
Obviously a lot of Richard's lines are great when he's coming in through. But what I think what I really liked about the stuff was when you would write these more serious moments, especially getting to the end of the chapter, it'd be this big serious thing. We're worried, what's going to happen? The big bad's getting there, about to die. And then we kind of enter the second scene with just something like, you know that feeling when your skin gets slowly melted off of your bones? And so it's just like this nice, like, you know, that thing, right? And then we jump right back into the action. And that for me is was a thing that I could really lean into and I really liked, and I find hilarious. That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Richard also has a comment for everything that is going to go wrong, or anytime anything's, you know, happening. It could be the shittiest situation. He's got a comment right there.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I would actually like go through and in edits, I'd be like, okay, have I put Richard in the scene? And then I'd like look at the chapter and I'm like, all right, where would that snarky asshole like what would he say? Where would it be? How can we be true to like what Richard is, and just add him in? It's interesting because in book 2 we get a second animal companion, Brienne, and they are comedic in a different way from Richard. They're kind of a Debbie Downer, if you've ever seen the SNL skit. So they add this like other flavor of humor, and the two play off each other really well. And I think part of my struggles with editing the second book is like, okay, the animal companions can't just like completely take the story,
right.
take the story over. We're gonna have other things happening too. So.
All
And
right.
with the other things, I mean, how big aspect of the book, right, is dungeon delving, having this adventuring party. Did you kind of grab aspects of that and have inspiration from other books, or have books that are your favorite that do that well as well?
With the dungeon diving, yeah, I mean, I think I read a lot of lit RPG. If you guys haven't been able to tell from my my podcast, and I think that there's so much dungeon delving that happens in an RPG. There's so much like fighting and stuff, that, you know, there's a lot of like, okay, I don't want to do that. I don't want to just have like another, you know, average encounter, you know, in level 1 of a dungeon, right? I want to try to keep the dungeons interesting and weird, and different. And I don't know if I succeeded completely, but that was kind of like going into it. That was kind of what I was thinking. I also read Doug Losey's Elsewhere, right about the time I was hitting midstream with the book, and I like Doug's dungeons. They're weird and different, and he twists things quite a bit, at least in that first book. And so, you know, that helped a little bit. I definitely, you know, from an inspiration standpoint, how Matt Denneman does Donut from an animal companion definitely played into a lot of my thoughts about Richard. Also, Shammy, want to shout out to Shammy because I was at Dragon Con like 2 years ago, and I got to see an animal companion panel that she kind of was highlighted. And I pulled a lot from Shammy and just her, like how she thinks about animal companions and how they humanize main characters, and some of the interplay there from her. So shout out to Shammy too. But for the dungeons themselves, I don't know. It's just the first dungeon is this kind of, I don't know. Some of my fans joke because they're like, "Oh, here's Rec." Jokes and grossness. Like my dungeons tend to be kind of gross. There's a lot of like slurking, and
I was gonna say the tongue of the dungeon is a whole thing.
Yeah. So the first, we'll give away a little bit of the first dungeon. The first dungeon, they portal in, and they are basically in the mouth of a leviathan, and they have to work their way through the leviathan. And so they portal in on the tongue of the dungeon, and it's
talk about uniqueness. I like that.
Yeah.
Oh, it makes some great moments, because there's a moment where Meredith and Cole are pretty much like just hanging there while the rest of the party's at the top, and they're trying to pull them up, and they are kind of entwined in a very comedic fashion.
Yeah.
So
yeah, Jessica does that scene really well too. Yeah.
I've heard her do that scene. Yes, she does an amazing job with that. Jeremy, I'm excited to hear how you pulled this off because I'm really excited.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I
I
like
think it'll be
to,
great to hear how we play together.
I like to lean into the physical humor of things, especially between Cole and Meredith there.
They are definitely a good combo. They're ones that I was shooting for Cole and Tandy at the start of it. I was like, oh, this would be a cute couple, and then Meredith shows up, and I was like, she's gonna kick his ass multiple times.
Yeah. She's definitely like the bad girl. Like he just can't help but to just fall for her. Yeah.
The goth Dami Mommy Death Knight.
Yeah. The goth
Yep.
Dami Mommy Death Knight. Shout out to Geneva for the Dami Mommy. Stacy's asking where we can get the audio. So it's going to be on Audible. It is in like the holding tank of Audible on that last step. So we're just waiting for them to give it the thumbs up. So we're fingers crossed tomorrow, but if not, it'll just be a day or two.
It's whenever ACX is like, hey, you can have it now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which Morpheus is also in the chat, which for those who don't know Morpheus, you see this beautiful artwork behind me? Yeah, that's all Morpheus. He's done my logo for Richey's Players Guild. He's also Jay Krause's, his artist and everything. And they have that beautiful mural on the side of the Will of the Immortals series, which has apparently been a huge pain in the ass to do. And I am so sorry that you guys have to deal with that sometimes.
No, Morpheus is a great artist, and I mean that's a big thing. I'm not a judge a book by its cover, but when a good cover draws me in, I'm like, oh man, I'm sold. And that one on the Stumbling Up, beautiful colors, beautiful design, the details and everything is just awesome.
I was gonna say, I got to see stuff with the cover as it was being progressed, and it was just it was fucking cool. It really was.
Yeah. What's cool too is the covers in all of the Morpheus art you get. Each chapter has like a little bit of art from Morpheus. So
I might still have a cover heading. Let me see real quick.
So there's some real fun moments. He has just leaned into Richard and just catching the comedy of Richard. And it's funny because he messaged me. I give him a couple different like options for each chapter of little bits and bobs. And he's like, I really like Richard. I'm going to try to do as many of these as Richard as possible. So book 2's got like double the Richard. That should be a marketing. double the Richard and
Let
Richard
me
XL.
Too fast.
I'm trying to
Richard.
see if I can find them. Give me a second here. Bear with me.
Yeah, I just love the face of Richard right there, just staring at you.
I am so sorry. My name is blocking it out. I tried to flip it and it would not flip. So
yeah.
I don't think I have them anymore. Damn.
Double the Richard.
Geneva, double the Richard, yeah. I think double the Richard XL, Magnum Richard. I don't know. There's a lot we can maybe play around with this.
Priest. Judas fucking Priest.
That's why we wait for that. I had a little bit of a question for you, Jeremy. I know I'm starting to dive deeper into the audiobook world, and I know that you don't have, I guess, the biggest repertoire when it comes to lit RPGs. How do you like getting deeper into the lit RPG world? I know you've done Road to Mastery. I think you did another one, Alan Buys the Universe, right? I think it was another one.
Yep.
How do you like the lit RPG world?
I love the lit RPG world. I think it's great. Actually, the first thing I did, first lit RPG I did was a dungeon core, and I didn't even know what lit RPG was. So I did this dungeon core, and I thought, this is a really neat idea. There's got to be other books like this.
It's got to be more. Lo and behold, there's so much.
Yeah, and then I just kind of dove in and picking up everything that I can.
That's awesome.
I love doing it. Yeah.
How wild was it to have your first lit RPG be a dungeon core? I mean, to narrate. I mean, like my first lit RPG was a dungeon core just to read, but I can't imagine like getting this dungeon core flopped on your desk. You're like, all right, voice this dungeon.
Especially early on, like there's a lot to it because of course, as a dungeon core, and in Blue Core specifically, there wasn't an extra little pixie helping out. So it's really just our main character thinking through stuff the whole time, and that was it was a lot of exercise getting through, figuring out how I'm going to talk through all of this stuff and make sure that I'm still interesting and exciting all through that. And then the fact that it was a harem added to it. Small amount harem. I think out of 33 hours, 3 hours was spicy scenes. The rest was just dungeon core. But it was fun. It was a lot of learning.
That's
Love
fair.
it.
I mean, that's a big one to start off with for sure.
Yeah.
Amazing. With Rec, I had a little bit of a question for you as well. I know you mentioned kind of how you wanted to bring like sunshine and happiness and laughter with this book in these dark times. Has there been anything else that you're just very proud of with the start of this series?
Yeah, I think that Richey's actually responsible for one of the big for part of the ending of the book. I think as much as I wanted to keep it sunshine and happiness, I really wanted to kill one of them. I was like, I need stakes because it's like a personal pet peeve
Cliffhanger.
that we don't have that it's hard to have stakes in the RPG because a lot of it's like overpowered fantasy, like everything, Mary Sue-ish, and I love it, but like also like where's the stakes? And so I almost went with the stakes of killing somebody off, and it just happened to be like Richey's favorite character, and I was like, okay, all right, can't, maybe I can kill him later, but I can't kill him in book one, and so because of that, it really influenced me to like think about the end of the book again and think about how you can have like emotional stakes or story stakes. And I think that, Stumbling Up, it's funny and it's got these, cool dungeons and stuff, but it's really a story about this group of friends and their relationships and them going out in the world and like growing up. And I'm proud of the emotional kind of story that goes along with it. I think like somebody on Royal Road, you get trolls over there in Royal Road, but somebody was like, this book, this book is ruined by the off-topic banter by the party. And when I read it, I was
I'm sorry,
like,
have you never been in a voice chat before or like gone questing with
friends,
the friends
hanging out?
Yeah.
Right.
yeah. I was like, well, that's like, this person nailed what the point of the book was, and like the point of the story is the friendship. And yeah, so I'm proud of the people, and you might end up liking some people more than others by the time you get to the end of the book, but it's a series, right? So there's like people are gonna like there's room for people to grow. Like real life, not everybody's friends all the time.
Yeah.
Right. So I like how I put that in there. It's a story about the people who happen to be in a dungeon and have a mortal fanged banana slug as a companion. And
such a crazy companion.
And
I just like messes with everybody, shenanigans.
Oh no! Like at one part of the book, it's like really early on. He goes, hey, I would rather be her companion. She seems like she knows what she's doing, and like a serious thing is happening at this point. And yeah, it's like, dude, no. He's like, no, I would rather go over there. You don't have your shit together. She looks like she's confident. I like her.
Yeah, Richard, it's this kind of joke about like, oh, you just found the slug in the compost pile. Like scooped it up and took it with you. But like Richard's also like, of all the people that I bonded with the absolute loser. He just keeps messing it up.
What is the title? Richard, companion to the dishwasher.
Yeah.
In chapter 2.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Dishwasher companion.
Amazing.
Oh, dishwasher's assistant. That's what it
Assistant.
is.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
dishwasher's assistant.
yeah. Because one of the skills Richard has is like clean, because you need that as a slug, and so he helps out with the dishes by helping clean the particularly nasty ones as his first act as a animal companion.
So Rec, I think we've talked about this before, but I don't remember because a lot has happened since we talked about the book. You have a lot of unique monsters in the book. And the first one we meet is a bog quacker.
Mm-hmm.
And they eat slugs. So why a bog quacker as our first monster and not like a jackal rabbit or something like that? Because bunnies are usually the first mobs you see when playing a video game, and they're like, hey, go kill that thing. It's usually like a bunny or maybe like a little, mild goblin.
Mm-hmm.
But a bog quacker.
Yeah. So I ride my bike at the park, and I have this like loop that I used to ride all the time, and there's this one part of the loop where these freaking geese would hang out, and like you'd always like come around this corner and just kind of have to like slow just to see if you were about to get like hissed at and chased, and like geese have attitude, and I don't know if you've like really just looked at a goose and thought, I
stay the fuck away from them.
I just want to punt that goose into the lake, right? Just, I mean, they're just kind of football shaped,
For
right?
sure.
Yeah, and so that was the inspiration of the bog quackers, and ironically, it was meant to be just like your bunny corn or whatever, right? Like that just like opening monster that eases you into, oh, this is a lit RPG, and and there's people that's like their favorite line in the book, or like I get bog quackered a lot. Like there's people want bog quacker art, and so I keep bringing bog quackers up as like an analogy for later stuff, because
The
Richard
king of all
freaks out.
bog quackers.
Yeah. But it's just a fun. Yeah.
There's the final boss for everything is the bog quacker. It's
the kaiju bog quacker with laser eyes, and
that's the final raid boss right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think it would be fun. I would still read that.
I'm about to. I mean, there's going to be a bog quacker in book 3. I can say that for sure.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Bog quacker's revenge.
Gonna give it like a marsh-esque swampy little area for a dungeon.
Yeah. It's gonna be. Yeah. Well, at book 3, they're headed back to Woodston.
Ooh.
So yeah.
Nice.
Now, earlier you brought up that I kind of helped out with the ending of the book because my favorite character. I don't want to say who my favorite character is because I don't want to give away like what kind of happens. But the character growth on all of the characters, specifically that one kind of goes from being my favorite to kind of being an asshole, but it's understandable why they're being an asshole, because you have that one friend that's like kind of gets fed up with everything and just is like, you know what, fuck it, I got to be by myself for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Was there when we were discussing that and everything, was it like a challenging thing to kind of switch that up from the original ending, or?
Yeah, I'll just say it's a lot easier to kill somebody.
I was gonna say the original plan was to kill them, and I was like, no, they're my favorite person. And you're like, damn it.
Wreck out of context. It's a lot easier to just kill somebody. But I mean, yeah. So one of my favorite arcs in lit RPG. So I'm a big Wandering End girly. And one of my favorite characters, if you've read like book 1 or 2 of Wandering End, you're gonna go like, what the hell? What's wrong with Ruck? But my favorite character is Lionette, and she is an absolute monster in the first couple books of Wandering End. And then her character growth makes her be, like I said, one of my very favorite characters. And I wanted to kind of do that. Although I started out with somebody that was fairly likable and kind of turned them into a monster. And like ultimately the arc we'll see, but like there's a redemption there that allows for that. But I want wanted to play with that character specifically once I decided that they were going to live. And to like add in these flavors of them going over to the dark side and like what that looks like and make it believable and make it something that you absolutely hate, but like you also get, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's tricky. Yeah.
You know, Brian just, yep, I think we have to make that a shirt now, Dennis.
Mhm.
I think
Oh,
I
for
think that's
sure.
going to be our Lit RPG Con shirts. We'll wear them
It's
for
a
the
lot
panels.
easier just to kill somebody. Yeah.
Which,
100%.
real quick, this is kind of cool. All 4 of us are panelists at Lit RPG Con, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Yep.
so.
Holy
That's
shit.
exciting. That's awesome.
This is podcast Lit RPG history right here. I don't think it actually is, but
It is for Richey's Players Guild.
That's true.
it is for the Players Guild. Yeah, I mean, new show, panelists, first year. Let's go. We're all for it.
Making strides. Awesome.
That's what we got to do. I mean, that's I've never. That was the whole thing when I did Chat and Sets. Is like I didn't want to like be monetized off of it or anything. I just wanted to talk about the books, hang out with my authors and narrators, and just have a good time. That was the whole purpose of it. And now my purpose is, hey, you've read Dungeon Crawler Carl. Cool. You already fucked up by reading the best book in the genre. You ruined it for yourself. So now we need to go back, look at the older ones so that we can see how it's evolved since it started, at least on the American side. If you go back and read some of the Russian stuff, you're like, oh, what the fuck were they on? This is good, but what the hell?
They were on something for sure.
They were. Stacy asked, do you know what panels you'll be doing? Not yet. We'll find out probably
A month
here in the
before.
coming months. I was going to say usually like the month before is when the panel list will go out and everything.
There's a really complicated spreadsheet that's going to be getting built here over the next couple months.
Oh, for sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about that at all? Or can you talk about that? Or are you talking about for Lit RPG Con?
I was talking about for Lit RPG Con, yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, hold on. Are you building a complicated spreadsheet?
Well,
No,
I have a
we
couple
already-
complicated spreadsheets, but no. Yeah.
We won't know
And I'm
until
scared
like
to see
a week
those.
before.
No, Geneva and Emily
No,
are
they're
going to
not-
have
yeah, they're on
cut
top
out
of
for
it.
them.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
I mean, this year is stacked. It's built. It'll be expanding. Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, we've got a lot. We've got a lot going on.
There we there we go. So let's just say this year's Lit RPG Con is going to be, stacked. We had almost a week worth of panelists being announced every day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think a good question is, what panel are you hoping to be on for Lit RPG Con? What's like a panel that you like want to be on?
Well, so I know from the sounds of it, I don't know if this is true or not, that the podcasters and book talkers are going to be more on like the workshop side of things, like, hey, how to get into book talk, how to run like a podcast, stuff like that. And where you actual professionals down there are going to be on the, hey, what's it like writing these books? What's it like narrating these books? One I would love to do is an animal companion. I want to moderate the animal companion panel this year if there is one, because I love my animal companions. Almost all of my favorite Lit RPGs have an animal companion of some kind. I mean, I'm rocking the land t-shirt right now, and I got Alma on the front right there.
It's one of my favorites. Yeah.
She's so sassy, and I love it. And I think she ruined animal companions for me because she's just way too good.
Yeah. How about you, Dennis? What panel are you hoping?
Oh, I don't know. I keep thinking about it. I'm like, I just do TikTok videos and hang out and talk with authors and stuff. It's like, what questions would anybody ask me? I just yap a lot, but I don't know. I think some funny ones would be, I would love for there to be like almost like a joke panel where there's almost like one imposter. It'll be like a bunch of authors and then somebody who doesn't write or even know what Lit RPG is as a panelist, and be like, I'm trying to answer and they have to answer the questions as if they like know what they're talking about, type of thing.
They just have to.
Yeah,
There you
exactly. But yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know. I feel like I just would love to talk with people and get to know them. Especially with authors. So there's a lot of people going. I think we're expanding by an additional floor as well. So lots of more rooms, lots of more people coming. And it's just going to be an exciting time.
Well, and last year they had the ticket cap. I think it was like at like 1,300 or something like that. And this year the online tickets are like 2,000 is the cap, and then there's going to be a limited number at the door. Geneva, I know you're in the comments. Correct me if I am wrong.
I think that's correct. Yep.
But you know they're going to have the limited numbers at the door. So if you don't get your online, I would get there super early if you're really wanting to be there.
Yeah, but the tough part is like if you're flying out with no guarantee of getting a ticket, like, that's a gamble. But
I am correct for once. That's rare.
Mark that on the calendar.
Yeah. Right, do you have a panel you're excited about?
I did the animal companion. Yeah, I would love to do an animal companion and talk about that with a bunch of the folks. I don't know. You'd think I'd have an answer prepared, right?
Hold on,
I think
Rex.
I would love to be on a stakes panel. I would love to talk about the stakes in the genre and how people find interesting ways to like have stakes, or like how to make a fight scene interesting again.
Okay. But Rex, here's the thing. I don't think Richard qualifies for the animal companion because he is the non-human MC. So like,
yeah,
you got to put some respect on your slug's name. Come on.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, you got it, Brian. Steaks. You got
Steaks. Are we talking medium rare? Like,
actually, that might be a good
talking?
one. What food is in all the books? Talking about all the cuisine.
Ooh, you know what? TJ would have to host it, but do a Lit RPG cooking segment.
There you go. Yeah,
we could use more Lit RPG focused on food.
Exactly. Yeah, we have our cozies.
Yeah,
I think Tao Wong has one that's it's more cozy fantasy, but I think there's Lit RPG elements, but it's the Nameless Restaurant, I think is what it's called. It's a fun time. So, but
there was a while where there's like 4 or 5 food ones that came out. Like, yeah.
Pub in the Underworld, Harmon Cooper, but Harmon won't be there sadly. And then, Nick is writing a cookbook from a Lit RPG series right now. So let's go.
That's awesome. It's going to be tough if they don't have the recipes for them and they just made up random names and what's involved in the actual food.
Well, James Hunter has one for the Rogue Dungeon. It's from Kaz's point of view, and it's called For the Salt, which I still don't have a copy of, and I need to get one from James because I love the Rogue Dungeon.
Fair enough.
Jeremy, what panel are you excited to be on?
You know what? I would be really excited to moderate like a Dungeon Core panel. I wish that Dungeon Core would come back and there would be more of those. But really, I'm excited to moderate some stuff. I think getting the title of the panel and what it's going to be, and then being able to spend time deep diving into that and learning more about whatever people are wanting to hear about. That's a lot of fun for me.
That is, I mean, I saw you moderate a panel last year at JordanCon, and that was a really fun panel to be a part of. Like I was just sitting in the back. I got some pictures of it, and like the questions you were asking me made me feel bad as a podcast host because I don't know how to ask questions apparently. So, Jeremy, what the fuck?
I spent time. I jumped into some other groups and was like, hey, I need questions in these topics. I think I started a Google form and distributed to some people just to get any kind of questions that anywhere I could get any questions at all. And then
I might have to
kind of organize them and try to figure out a flow of the questioning. Okay. It was a lot of work. I spent a lot of time doing it.
You're like professional public speakers, please help.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I went to school for that. I probably should return my degree. Anyways.
So what I'm hearing, Jeremy, is that we're going to run a pre-Lit RPG Con, how to moderate a panel, a little workshop online for folks.
And have all moderators mandatory to join in on that one.
Mandatory to attend.
Yeah.
Honestly, as soon as I found out I was moderating anything, and I think it was at Jordan Con, I went to a narrator that does an amazing job with panels. And I was like, how do you do this stuff? And I got 2 books to read. That was like, here, these are 2 books. And then there's TED Talks, and there's all of this stuff on how to run a panel. And I just dove in.
Yeah.
Was it Neil Helliger's?
No, his name's Joel Frumkin.
Okay, damn. I was like, that sounds like something I would ask Neil Helliger's, because I've seen that man moderate a panel, and holy hell, that man knows how to ask some deep and intriguing questions. So yeah, he is amazing, and I'm excited. I'm excited to see everyone at Jordan Con this year. Jeremy, are you coming to Jordan Con this year, or are you not able to?
I am not going to be at Jordan Con. I'll be on a cruise with narrators, and like we get into port on Saturday.
Nice.
I'm so annoyed that it's the same time.
Yeah, every time somebody asks me, "Oh, is Jeremy going to be at Jordan Con?" I'm like, "No, he's going to be on a cruise."
Jessica should be at Jordan Con, though, I believe.
What was that?
I think she will.
Jess should be at Jordan Con.
Yeah, no, that's great.
But Piano Ninja said a cruise with narrator sounds like a blast, though. It does. It does, especially depending on which crew is there. That's the important question, is like, which crew is there?
I think there's a lot of evening games that we play, and it ends up being focused on voices and writing little quips and all that kind of stuff. So it gets
not
to be
the
a lot of
piggy
performance.
smut from last year. Got it.
There was a lot of, here you have some game that we played that was here's a line, you need to deliver it in this style. You need to deliver it as a robot, as an angry bus driver, as a woman giving birth, that kind of stuff.
Jeez.
Those were entertaining.
Sounds exhausting. Narrators, the extroverts of the community. Thank God for narrators.
So we do have a question in the chat. It is from the one and only Brian, and his question for the group: if you were a potato, how would you be prepared? See, I have a really fucked up answer.
I need to look up this type of potato.
Hey, what's up, Craig? I have a really messed up answer.
I mean,
and it goes back. I would say diced, and I was gonna make because that's how I was back in high school. But then it's that might be a little too dark, and I might need to be checked in for a 72-hour Grippy Sock vacation. Because not baked. Baked is my least favorite potato, believe it or not. But I am a potato slut, so I would say diced with some onion powder, garlic powder. Put in the oven for about 45 minutes, to where it's a nice crispy golden brown. I'd be set.
I think for me, I had a name for this, and I went down the fancy route of probably like a potato croquette, just like crunchy but like soft in the inside. I don't know. I love a good croquette.
Hey, Jeremy, I want to hear your answer.
I guess I'm just in a very different headspace than you guys, because if I was a potato, I would be prepared by really working deep into the ground under rocks where it was unlikely that I'd be dug out, and I'd just be able to live my life there and not be massacred.
So you went the opposite route that we went. You chose survival.
Yeah,
where we were giving survival to the other people.
I'd probably be like you dice the potato, you throw it in the bag with French onion soup, and you shake it with oil, and then just put it on a sheet pan and fry the crap out of it in the oven.
I would also say a nice potato soup, because I did have a really good potato soup the other day. So
yeah,
can't go wrong with a good potato soup.
It's Jen and I watched a cooking show, and it was talking about cottage pie, and this is my revelation for the week. To make it crispy on the outside, at the top of the cottage pie where the potatoes are, they put an egg wash on it, which blows my mind. I don't know how many times I've tried to make a cottage pie, and I'm like, why isn't it crisping? This entire time it's been an egg wash. That's my cooking revelation for the week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. That's. I
Yeah.
don't. I might need to watch this and question my
Jen,
my potato methods.
I don't remember what the podcast thing we watched was. You got to put it in the chat.
Jen, you know my Discord. Send that to me.
Mhm.
So we are getting close to our end of the time. One question that I started out when I first started Stats on Stats before it became Chat and Stats was I used to ask the question because this would help me get to know the person better. And I don't know the answer for any of you three. Is you are summoned into a world where the system allows you to create your own character. You get to pick your race and class. What do you pick?
Oh man.
I think
I know.
I mean, it's my go-to D&D stuff.
Exactly.
I'm a tank.
Okay.
I'm just always a tank. I always put myself between the bad guys and my party, and do everything to soak damage and trust that everyone else will back me up.
So, but what's the race and class combo?
Oh,
That's-
race and class combo.
Yeah.
I might go with like an orc barbarian.
Okay. All right.
I like that.
All right. I was gonna say I have mine. I can give it if you guys need a little bit more time to think.
Go for it.
So for me, I am a dwarf paladin. That is my go-to. I do kind of just the basic neutral, like a little bit Oath of the Vengeance, but also maybe a little Oathbreaker. Because if I can turn it into where I can become a Death Knight in a way, I'm going to. But dwarves are my favorite fantasy race, which is why I have been tortured by Jay Krause with his new book because it's a dwarf main character. And
That's fair.
Yeah.
son of a bitch. So,
Yeah.
but Dwarf Paladin is my go-to. Is one of my first characters on WoW, and I just kind of fell in love with it ever since.
Mhm.
Ironically, you and Jeremy had a little bit of overlap in one of your favorite characters in Stumbling Up.
Did we have the same favorite character?
Yeah, I think so.
I can't wait to hear your voice because the voice I had picked out for them just I don't know why, but it kind of scratched the spot just a little too well in my brain. So I'm really curious to see how you do it.
Yeah.
Well, you'll have to pick up the book and find out
I already
tomorrow or
said
next weekend.
I have the credit ready. It's
There you go.
ready. Now I got to finish Crystal Shards Online before I go into a new.
Have you read Gunblade yet? That's my
That's
favorite.
book 4. I'm on book 2 right now.
Okay, yeah, okay, keep
So-
reading. Gunblade's keep going.
Right, do you have your
But,
character?
Yeah. So I like mismatches. I've always liked mismatches in race class setup. So I always do while I played a dwarf ranger for years, and I really liked having like a pet. I had this like two-headed dog. I don't remember how many heads Pinky had, but yeah, I had this like glowing dog that I really loved. Or like a gnome berserker.
Gotta keep the short kings going. Let's go.
Yeah, jeez.
Like just like the chaos of like, okay, well, how would I don't know? I like the puzzle of like how would this race, I don't know, how would this weird race class combo actually work? How would they make it work? How could it be an advantage? I like the contradictoriness of it. So in essence, Pianos maybe a little bit right. It's like the Chaos Goblin part of me.
That's fair.
Mhm.
Let's see. I think honestly, I'm playing Elder Scrolls Online right now, and
My
I am
boy.
greatly enjoying. And I usually use this for any sort of RPG or MMO, but I like a sorcerer, big sorcerer guy, and so probably Dragonborn sorcerer is like
Ooh.
a big one for me. And I'm a big like fire guy. I like fire affinity, anything fire related. That's just my thing. Or on the other hand, it's just the classic, high elf ranger. Just the simple, keep it simple.
Yeah.
Good shit. Good shit. And of course, the last question I have, which I have brought over from the Chat and Stats time, was, hey, what you been reading? You don't have to give a super long list if you don't want to. it's been a hot minute since I've done this question, so I have a list. I'm going to narrow it down to just by series at this point. So, Jeremy, we'll start with you. Obviously, you've been reading Stumbling Up because you know you narrated it. What else have you been reading that you're able to talk about, or just in your free time?
I mean, in the free time, I got pushed into reading Discount Dan, which I honestly didn't know much about it, but I got pushed into like, you have to go read this, and so I've started listening. I'm really liking that a lot. I really love base builder, dungeon core, all of that kind of stuff. So I'm enjoying it a lot more than I expected to.
Good shit. Any other books you want to shout out, or is that the only one?
God, I can't remember what the other series. I'm listening to the Drone Ensign series. Let's see, by Kyle Johnson, which is more of a sci-fi lit RPG, and I like that one a lot. That was really good.
I don't know if I've done that one or not. My library is just way too big. I know Kyle Johnson. I just don't know if I've read that one or not. So I have to now dig through my list. Well, damn.
Space pirates.
I like space and I like pirates. So
can't argue with that.
Sold.
Right, okay. What you got going on?
Yeah, I mean, you can kind of see what I'm reading right now from my podcast list just because it's been hot and heavy lately. I'll say Tal Deason's Havoc Bringer is quality. Elvis is like the best.
that one just came out as well, right?
Very
recently. Yep.
Yeah. I'm reading Lighting the Forge, I think is what
Jay Krause's.
Yeah, I've got him next week, so I'm getting through that, and yeah, it's quality dwarf blacksmithing as you would expect. My only book I've read recently, just kind of like randomly, not for the podcast, was Tusks of Extinction, which is not a lit RPG. It's a sci-fi. I really loved it. It's super short, so if you can fit in Tusks of Extinction, I highly recommend. It's about resurrecting mammoths.
Ooh,
and
nice.
Yeah, it's a very like Michael Crichton, like good old days sort of feel to it. I really like Ray Naylor is the name of the author. So
all right.
Hey, yo, Dennis.
Yeah, I got I'm going through classic. Yeah, I'm going through classic DCC, so I'm on book 4 right now. Aside from that, I'm doing also Founders Edition, Lighting the Forge, book 1 for the release of it in April. And what's the other one? Silent Blades.
Ren's book.
Yep.
We love Ren. And narrated by Jessica Threet. The audiobook is fantastic. That was a one-day listen for me.
Yeah.
From the time it dropped to the end, like I couldn't stop it. It was that good.
What you got, Richie?
Oh, for me. So I got some book mail in, physical. I opened one of them. I need to do an unboxing for it, but Jared sent me his Get Trucked series. He sent me the first book of that. And then Casey Azell sent me a book. I've not opened it. I don't know what's in it.
Did you get Blood in the Sand?
I think I got Blood in the Sand.
I'm so jealous.
I think I got Blood in the Sand. I'm doing an unboxing video. I might do it tonight. I might do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
But as soon as I open that, that's that. And then I got this yesterday, which I'm bringing with me to JordanCon. I've already read this book, but
that's so nice.
This is just the green screen. No. All right, you're gonna see the mess.
Turn it off.
I am. Damn it. I didn't want to because my room's a mess right now. Can I do the blur? Will the blur? Nope, it'll still do it. All right, fuck it. Ignore the mess in the background.
That's a sexy book.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Leather bound, sprayed edges of Mistborn. So I am bringing this.
That looks amazing.
I'm bringing that to JordanCon because it's already signed by Brando Sando, and that was a gift to me. But yes, I am very excited to have him sign that, and I'm excited to meet him because Brandon Sanderson is one of my favorite people.
So Yeah, I'm nervous about meeting him. I don't know if I like. Do I want to meet Brandon Sanderson? Like, of course I do, but like, also meeting Brandon Sanderson.
Right.
But
But
does the
for
imposter
audio,
syndrome ever go away? I don't know.
I've been doing this. I've been doing the podcast for 5 years now, and no, it doesn't. Because people are like, "Yeah, Richey runs a really good show." I was like, "Do I though?" I don't think so.
Yeah.
But series wise, on my way down when I moved from Indiana to Texas, I did for the first part of the ride, SL Rowland's new book, There Be Dragons Here, because Jessica Threet narrates it, and she's my bestie. I got to give her all the love and support I can. And that was fantastic. Then I did a few books in the Returners of Defiance series, and now I'm on book 2 of the Crystal Shards Online. So I'm on Shard Warrior right now.
Okay. Yeah.
And I have Shard Wraith, Gunblade, and Goblin Queen all lined up and ready to go because book 5 did drop. It looks like at the end of last year. So
I'm just gonna keep recommending that series until he writes the 6th.
I was telling Dennis and Sam both about it. I was like, I need you both to read this because I want to get Rick Scott on the show. Like, I love Path of the Berserker, but this one is, I like the VR stories. That is my big thing. Is I love the VR stories. And yes, Baz did bring up. Oh, so originally, Rek is the one that recommended it to me, and I was like, I think I read that one, but I didn't remember. So I started. And I was like, I'm not really in the mood for this. And then Baz brought it up. I was like, maybe I'll go back and give it another shot.
No, we see how it is.
And Goblin Queen. Oh, it dropped on May 9th, 2023. I misread the date. I am dyslexic. Holy shit.
Yeah.
So 6 is a long ways out then.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
I think Path of the Berserker is just taken off. So, you know, you got to go where the.
That's fair.
And Path of the Berserkers is just fantastic. And Wayne Mitchell does the audiobook for that one, and it's really good. But yes, that has been the launch party for Stumbling Up. Rek, Jeremy, thank you both for joining us tonight. Dennis, thank you obviously for joining the channel. I really appreciate you, buddy. You're gonna help me keep it on here because I'm all scatterbrained at the moment. But Rek, Jeremy, and Jessica, if you watch this, congratulations to the 3 of you on the launch of this book. I am very excited to pick up the audiobook and listen to it. I promise not to judge it too harshly. I know this book like the back of my hand. No, I'm really excited, and I know you guys did an amazing job with this. I know your narration style. I know Jess's narration style. You both are fantastic. I am excited to see what you do. And Rek, obviously, congratulations on the launch of the book itself. Like it's here. After a couple of delays, it's here, and we're fucking excited.
Yeah, I'm excited. Hopefully y'all like it, and yeah. Whew.
I need to pick up this book. I'm very excited for it. Is there any events where people will see you guys at for the next couple months?
Yeah, I'm going to be at JordanCon. So you guys can see me at JordanCon. I'll also be at Lit RPG Con. There might be some book stuff in Kansas City here and there, but for the most part, it's just gonna be online. Yeah.
Perfect.
I'll be at Lit RPG Con, and then I'll be at Dragon Con. I think those are the next things.
I was gonna say, sadly, I'm skipping Dragon Con this year. What RPG and Jordan are the only ones. I am doing Comic Palooza with Ryan Maxwell because we're going down there. He's just attending. He's not actually.
It's in Houston, right?
I think so, yeah. But Matt's gonna be there, so I have some payback that I have to do. So he's getting a couple Polaroids. Nick's curious about the Kansas stuff.
Yeah, if you follow me on Facebook, or probably Facebook is the best place, or my page. There's free, if you do it free on Patreon, I'll post there. There's some book events that happen in Kansas City, and I go to them once in a while. So, yeah.
All right.
Exciting times.
It's very exciting times. Lit RPG is on the rise, and it's not stopping.
No,
we're just pushing forward. But
yeah.
Everyone, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. We very much appreciate it. And to those watching it at a later time, we appreciate you as well. Rek, Jeremy, thank you both for joining Dennis and I tonight. And we hope you all have an amazing weekend.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you
Have a
both.
good one,
Have
you
a good
guys.
night.
Thanks for joining.